My 2024 driver lineup prediction video. This sort of video seems to happen like every single year from every single F1 YouTuber, so I don't want to waste your time and let's get right into it. So let's start this list off with Williams. Now for 2023 they're having Alex Albon and Logan Sargent. Now obviously this seems like a pretty secure driver lineup for now, with Alex Albon who's proven to be a steady pair of hands to the team, and we have their rookie Logan Sargent from their driver academy. I think this is going to be an okay driver lineup. Now look, I think Logan Sargent is pretty good, but I don't think he's incredible. Sure, he's good enough for F1, but I don't think he's going to blow anyone away. Although saying that, I didn't think Zhou Guanyu would do very well this year, and I still think he's done pretty well. But for 2024, I'm going for a bold prediction here. It's not going to change, in my opinion. Like I said, it's pretty safe, and they're not going to bin off their academy member in the first year, I don't think. It's not Red Bull. Next up is AlphaTauri, and I still can't get over they finished P9 in the standings. Like, what? Now, obviously, with Pierre Gasly leaving the team, they have lost their star driver, and I imagine Yuki Tsunoda will try and be the #1 driver there. But he is up against Nick de Vries, who has shown that he is a very quick driver on his day. So it really depends on whether Yuki performs well and if Nick can adapt to the F1 car well. I think Red Bull did a really good job to scoop this guy up, but in my opinion, I think they're not going to improve that much. I think Yuki Tsunoda will struggle next year, and with that, he's been given 3 seasons to prove himself. As much as I love Yuki, I think he's a goner. I think Liam Lawson will replace him in 2024. Now, Liam is leaving Formula 2, which is a bit of an odd move in my opinion. If you want to get to F1, you've got to stay in F2. But he's moving to Super Formula, which is still a respectable series. But Red Bull have been showing a lot of interest in this young Kiwi, so I think he's got a chance. So I'm going to say that Red Bull will give Liam Lawson his chance in 2024 in the AlphaTauri. Next is Haas, who have Kevin Magnussen and Nico Hülkenberg for next year. Now, in my opinion, I'm not the biggest fan of this driver lineup. Yes, obviously it's Nico Hülkenberg, Kevin Magnussen, a bit of a history, but either way, I'm not a fan of Nico Hülkenberg. I think he's getting pretty old now, been out of F1 for a while, it might be a bit rusty, but I do have a feeling that he'll do well this year, and I think Haas just need to keep ticking away at getting an extra place every year so they can earn more money to develop a new car. And once that car is quick enough, then they can bring in a rookie. They have a decent car, at least one decent driver who will probably be Kevin Magnussen, and a rookie will come and replace Nico Hülkenberg. I think for 2024, they're going to keep Nico Hülkenberg. They just need to keep ticking along, getting some consistent points, and getting higher in the constructors. So next up is Aston Martin. And before I say it, let me tell you this. Here on the Cars Icona channel, we don't do things half-heartedly. If we're going to do something, we're going to do it big, bold and brilliant. So for my Aston Martin prediction, this is what I'm going to say for 2024. I think Aston Martin have been improving recently. Obviously, they're getting new wind tunnels and a whole new factory and everything. It's going to be great. But I still think that it's going to be pretty slow next year. And I think Fernando Alonso will regret his decision moving there. I imagine he signed a 2-year contract, but once he found out that the car was going to be incredibly slow, I think he's going to bail. I think Fernando Alonso is going to leave Aston Martin and retire from F1. I said that last year as well, but it's going to happen this year. So a lot of you are probably thinking, probably Felipe Drugovich, their young driver, will come into the team. But I beg to differ. But I'm saying that Daniel Ricciardo, the Honey Badger, will make a shock return to Aston Martin in 2024. Wow, after that extremely hot take, we have Alfa Romeo Sauber. Now, obviously, for next year, they have the same lineup of Valtteri Bottas and Zhou Guanyu. I know I said that Théo Pourchaire would come in this year, but obviously I was wrong. I think it's a no-brainer to just keep this driver lineup. They've been really good this year. Zhou Guanyu's always improving. Valtteri Bottas is a safe pair of hands, and it makes no sense to change it unless something terrible happens. Let's say Zhou Guanyu has a terrible season. It's a no-brainer that they just hire Théo Pourchaire. But saying that, with Fred Vasseur gone, could Théo be out of a drive? I think if Théo really wants a shot at F1, he has to win the F2 Championship this year. But I think for now, it's going to stay the same for 2024. Next up is McLaren, and I'm sure it's going to stay the same. We have Lando Norris, who's the poster boy for McLaren. He has a contract to about 2025, I'm pretty sure. And Oscar Piastri, they just went through so much hassle to get him, so I'm sure we're not going to let him go that easy. I mean, the only thing that could change this is if Checo Perez does terribly in 2024, and Red Bull try and snap up Lando Norris. Obviously, they've tried to do it before, but obviously wasn't successful. Just whether without Andreas Seidel, will McLaren do better and will Lando stay there? But I'm saying it'll stay the same. With Alpine, I think it's pretty safe to say that they're all going to stay the same. They have Ocon there, and they've just signed Gasly. I'm sure they'll get along fine. He seems to do well, so I'm sure it's going to be great. I mean, Gasly will probably settle in a little bit this year, so won't do as well as expected, but I'm sure it'll be fine. Then we have Mercedes. Now, surely it's going to stay the same. The only thing I can think is maybe Lewis Hamilton wins a championship next year and retires. Definitely won't happen, though. I'm sorry, Lewis Hamilton fans. George Russell's there for a while. He's the next generation. So Lewis Hamilton, George Russell will definitely stay the same for 2024. As for Ferrari, well, again, it has to be the same. Like, I don't know what else to say. They're both great drivers, Charles Leclerc, Carlos Sainz. But I do have a video coming out about Charles Leclerc and whether he'll stay at Ferrari in the future. But spoiler alert, I do think he will stay there. And then there's Red Bull. Now 2024. This is going to be a tough one, isn't it? We have Max Verstappen, who is obviously going to stay there. He's the poster boy for Red Bull. He is the young Dutch superstar that everyone wants, really. And then we have his teammate Checo Perez. Now, obviously, they've had a bit of a problem this year. They've been fighting a little bit in that Red Bull family. Monaco, obviously, Brazil, they've been fighting, also the spilling over a bit and seeing Christian Horner getting a bit angry at them. And now with Checo being there and Daniel Ricciardo joining the team, I think they have a looming threat. I think Checo's a little bit scared of Daniel. Daniel obviously has a history at the team, so maybe Red Bull will give him a chance. So I just think they're like, you know, Checo, if you don't do well, Daniel Ricciardo's there, and I just have him smiling, look at him across the room, like smiling, going, I want your seat, Checo, give me your seat. But like I said, I think Daniel will actually move to Aston Martin in 2024, but I think Checo Perez will stay the same. And trust me, Nick de Vries will not be in Red Bull by that time, Yuki Tsunoda will be out, and Liam Lawson will be in AlphaTauri. Unless they hire out the academy again. Maybe Lando Norris does come, and maybe I'm going to get it all wrong. But what do you think? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you next time. Bye.